Welcome to Why Is This Acceptable? We stand here today at a teetering ceasefire situation where we don't really know what is going on and what are the terms and conditions of this particular ceasefire that has been brought upon to us by Trump, of all people. We spoke about the fog of war in the last episode where we explained why is misinformation the worst possible thing during a time of war. We tried to explain why is it that we as people should stand together against fake news and against the players who are trying to feed the country misinformation. However, what has played out since the 7th of May is nothing if not shameful for the country, as the TV news media has gone out of its way to peddle the most absurd and the most obnoxious kind of fake news possible at a time where the country was looking for a single source of information that they could trust. Today we are going to talk about why is it acceptable for the TV news media to be this blatantly obnoxious, to spread this kind of fake news and to create this kind of a mass hysteria at a time of what seemed like war at that point of time. Why is it that India doesn't even have one single trusted news source that it can go to for actual information and not mass hysteria when it comes to such sensitive topics like war? A lot of YouTube channels have already spoken about these things and have done shows about how bad it was when the Godi media channels were going around saying literally anything that had no anchoring in any kind of ground reality whatsoever. It felt like a circus in a time where our media, which is supposed to be the fourth pillar of our entire democracy, should have had stuck to facts, should have had worked extra hard to keep its entire population who is looking towards them for some kind of proper information, truth and guidance, to not be told that we have entered Karachi, we have exploded a port and whatever not. I don't even want to get into what went on because that kind of a madness has been properly recorded, and good that it was. I am here to ask you why is that acceptable and whether these particular news channels should be brought to justice, should be brought to the court for misguiding the Indian public, for lying to our faces at a time where they should have had maintained some level of dignity, some kind of a journalistic ethics, if they even know what that is. It is not surprising that our press freedom index is in the gutter. It shows, because whether it is Pakistan, whether it is anybody else, has used our media coverage to show the world that we are liars. The lies peddled by the Godi media on the TV news channels has, by complicity, made every Indian a liar in front of the global community. That is why no matter whatever it is that we are saying is not taken seriously. This shows very clearly in the way that the global media has clearly sided with Pakistan throughout all this, because at the end of the day, none of them could have had shown even one single news clipping from our TV news channels as anything that is remotely based in facts. These Godi TV channels have made us a laughing stock in the whole world. There has to be some kind of a repercussion for what is it that they have done. While the government of India bans a Maktub media, a Wire and a 4 PM, I would want to ask our leaders Why is it that these kind of TV channels like a Z and a Republic and whatever else, they get to operate with such impunity at a time of war? How is it that we are letting these people operate without any guardrails, without any kind of respect for any kind of journalistic integrity or ethics? And where's our foreign policy? What does it say about us as a country if the world sees us letting these kind of TV channels run amok? What does it say about us in terms of the global stage? How does it show our foreign policy if we let these kind of lies just roam free on our airwaves? What face does India get to show to the world if we are going out with these kind of news items, these kind of claims about how much we care about truth anyways? Why are we surprised that the global media pays no attention to what is it that is being said in our media when our media pays no attention to what is it that they are saying? And because of this, because of the lies told to the world, told to the Indian citizenry by these Godi media channels, is why it feels like we have no more friends, no more credibility left on the global stage. It is because of these kind of lies, it is because these kind of news articles on our TV channels is why it feels like we can't stop Pakistan from getting $1 billion loan. And I must also commend the whole of Indian citizenry that we all stuck behind our government at the time of Operation Sindoor. I think everyone from the opposition to any person within the country was entirely behind the government because we wanted justice to be served for the victims of Pahalgam. But when a Trump announces the ceasefire between India and Pakistan before anyone else, before our government gets to say it, it kind of feels very weird because it feels like our government isn't really backing us up in the way that we are. So while Trump takes credit for the ceasefire between India and Pakistan, while we become a laughingstock for the world thanks to our extremely incompetent TV channels, I want you to answer me, I want you to answer yourself. Why is it acceptable for these particular channels to be still on air? Why is it acceptable for these channels to lie to our faces at the most difficult, sensitive time that this country has gone through in a while and still be operational? I want you to ask yourself, I want you to ask the people in power, why is it acceptable that we as a country are today synonymous with absolutely fake news? I want you to ask yourself, and I want you to ask anybody around you, why is it acceptable for a whole country like ours to be termed as liars because of the lies peddled by the Godi media? Because as far as I'm concerned, it is not. As far as I'm concerned, these people should pay for what they have done. As far as I'm concerned, the government, the people and the judiciary should take proper action so that the next time we are in such a sensitive situation, we know these channels are not going to go out of the way chasing TRP and lying to our faces.